It's nowhere near that. But the thing that concerns me most about this health care bill, I just lost my mother last October. She had battled cancer for 16 years, and she was 75. She had surgery in June and July. Now, when you read that health care bill, there's going to be health care panels where they evaluate the procedures and what's being done. My mom was 75. She had a good life. She was nearing towards the end, though. Her cancer was moving at a rapid pace. But the surgeries she received in June and July, that allowed us to spend some extra quality time. She was able to take walks that she couldn't take prior to those surgeries. That didn't extend her life one day. But it allowed us to share some time with her that we wouldn't have had the option under this health care bill. And that's what concerns me most when I read through this bill. It's about power and it's about government taking over your lives. And we need to replace it with free market solutions, and we definitely need tort reform, because we know that is what's driving up the true cost of medicine in America. We need to go to a commercial-based system. We need to make sure that it's available. You folks have paid into this system. You've paid your dues. You are the ones that are going to suffer most under his repeal of the Medicare plan and what's laying out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Olson?
One of the cases that I worked on, ladies and gentlemen, hello. One of the cases that I worked on with a team of lawyers, we represented all the physicians in this country and all the medical associations as we sued the HMOs for the wrongful way that they were paying the physicians. I worked on that case for approximately 3 years. Most of the work I have done as a lawyer, a lot of it has been in the healthcare industry. I know more about this. It's been every facet of what I have dealt with, and it's one of the reasons I'm in this lawsuit. I'm of course against the healthcare bill. We all are. Number one, the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, gives to Congress its enumerated powers. If Congress does not have those powers within Article 1, Section 8, they do not have the ability to act. There is nothing in Section 8 that gives them the ability to pass this law, and I believe it to be unconstitutional. I have offered to help Attorney General McCollum on the lawsuit against on the fact that this bill is unconstitutional. Not only that, though, it will add an estimate of $500 billion to the deficit. But let me tell you what really bothers me about this bill. This bill is bad, ladies and gentlemen, no question about it. But I am very concerned about the next bill that Congress is going to attempt to pass, because most of the physicians in this country don't want to take Medicaid, much less the 30 million people that have been added to the Medicaid rolls. Right now, doctors have the choice to take Medicaid or Medicare or private insurance if they want. I believe the next thing on the heels of this agenda and administration is to pass a bill taking away from doctors the right and privilege to accept the insurance that they want. That's why I'm in this race. I think we need a lawyer. I think we need a person who knows the law to fight back against the law, because we're in an emergency situation. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Sutherland.
I'll do this in order. First of all, I already signed a commitment with Club for Growth in Washington, D.C. to totally repeal the bill. That is my commitment. That, of course, cannot happen until 2012 when we take the White House back, but until then, we can defund it. Secondly, insurance across state lines. I believe that we have some insurance issues as opposed to health care issues that are creating a greater burden on the family budget. And I think that those burdens can be eased through greater competition. I have one of our staff members has flown out of town this week from Panama City, Florida. We just opened up a brand new airport. His round trip ticket is $200. About 4 weeks ago, that round trip ticket would have cost him about $800. It's called competition. And I believe to be able to open up the market and allow competition, that will give us better quality and that will give us more affordable prices. That's what competition does. Secondly, I think that portability. People should be able to transfer and take their policies with them, like you do your life insurance, like you do your disability care insurance, your long-term care insurance, as well as your auto insurance. And I think that you should be able to do that with your health insurance as well. Tort reform, I believe that in many ways, attorneys have got us into the mess that we are in. And I find that what we've got to do is we've got to have some tort reform. That is both locally, statewide, as well as federally. If we look at the issues in the state of Florida as far as workman's comp and the mess that we're in here in the state, the same thing applies to our health insurance around the country. We've got doctors that are practicing defensive medicine and they're ordering 10 tests when 2 would do, but they have to protect themselves going into the court of law. The biggest problem I have with this issue with this bill is, first of all, it's not constitutional. They want to expand government, create 17,000 new jobs with the IRS. This will kill our economy. And we can't do anything to solve any of our problems in this country until we get our economy back on a strong footing.
All right, thank you. I want to take a moment here real quick to remind you, please, if you do have cell phones or other such equipment with you, please put them on vibrate or turn them off. And also, should you feel the need for a pause, can we hold that until the end of the evening so that we can have as much time as possible with the candidates. Our next question, and Ms. Olshner will be the first to answer this one. If the cap and trade bill returns to the U.S. House, how would you vote? Now, it's currently in the Senate. It's been renamed the American Power Act. And also, how do you feel about licensing for homes and for their energy use? Ms. Olshner.
Well, as to the cap and trade, if it came into the House, I would vote no. I mean, I think this is a horrible bill, and I think that what we really, I've said this before, I have a very simple platform as we talk about the issues. I think we are in serious trouble in this country in 2 areas, and that's the economy and our national security. I think every bill that comes through Congress for the next 24 months should be looked at through the filter of how does this affect our economy and how does this affect our national security. People are interested in a lot of other issues, but I think we're in a critical time and there are a lot of issues that we can't really address. I think we've got a huge hole in our boat and water's just coming in through it. We better patch the boat before we start talking about what color we might want to paint the bow. Because if the boat goes down, we're not going to have anything to paint. I think cap and trade, looking at it through the filter of how does this affect our economy, it is another tax on the American people and on the businesses that we cannot afford.
Thank you. Mr. Sutherland.
Of course, if I were in Congress, I of course would vote against this bill. I think this bill is not about your energy. I think that this president and this administration could care less about your energy needs. Just like I think they could care less about your health insurance needs and your health needs. I think that this bill is about greater intrusion into yours and my personal life. Just like a river that has a purpose, from time to time that river overruns its banks and it starts to flood the mainland. And I believe that these bills that are being passed through Congress and by the support of Congressman Alan Boyd are similar to that river that has overflooded its banks and are now flooding our homes, our businesses, our cars, everything we love. That river is in our lives. And I think this bill is an example of that. As far as licensing for homes and energy, I of course disagree with the bill, so therefore I disagree with that. I think this bill will kill 2.5 million jobs in this country, and right now with us being almost 9 million jobs down and pushing double-digit unemployment, and we have a White House that thinks they create jobs when they hire 400,000 census workers. That tells me they don't understand what a real job is, because you cannot meet the needs of your family, pay your home mortgage, provide vehicles for your family, send your children to schools and make sure they have cleats and ball gloves and make sure that they have the things that children deserve in this country when government is killing us. So we got to take care of the family budget. I think this bill, the cap and trade bill, okay, is again an attack on government to be involved in every area of our life. And I vehemently disagree with it, and I also vehemently disagree with the cap and trade philosophy and the belief of it. And I think what it tries to do is send our sovereignty to the United Nations, and it tries to transfer our wealth that we have worked for, and we've worked, and I mean worked for 240 years. We have worked in this country, and it is to take our wealth that has taken 240 years to create and transfer it to third world countries. And I will always vote against this bill and its concept.
Thank you. And Mr. Schultz.